ladders. That's what they had the ladders everywhere, and then you just have to use it. Yeah.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Marriage Trophy Challenge. This is your sports time machine as I bring you the Marriage Trophy game, the challenge. First game of this series, we had the 1968 New York Mets, 1968 through 1980 New York Mets, led by Gil Hodges, taking on the 1968 through 1980 New York Yankees, led by Billy Martin. And of course, to watch that game, folks, that was some finish and that was some game to play. Tonight will be game two, the next era. This will be the 1981 to 1993 Mets and Yankees. This time will be the Buck Showalter New York Yankees taking on the Davey Johnson New York Mets. So this should be a good one. A lot of good superstars in here. Don Mattingly, Dave Winfield, and your cast of misfits from that New York Mets team. This should be a good one, as we'll again have this one. We'll also have two other eras hopefully follow after this. We'll try to play all four in a four-game series. The next one will feature the Joe Torre era against the Mets era, the same ilk. So it'll be 94 through, I believe that is 2009 or so. I think I did. I have to check statistics and see what I did, but I believe that's what the fourth era is more current. I believe that's going to be 2000, not 2007 or 2009 to what we have today. So this again is the Buck Showalter era versus the Davey Johnson era. On the mound for the New York Yankees, since this is their home game today, with Melito Perez. He was 13-16 on the year, 2.87 ERA, and on the mound for the New York Mets, the dynamic, the youngster Doc Gooden. So here's the Yankee defense. It'll be Kelly, Henderson, and Winfield in the outfield. Pagliarulo, Smalley, Sachs, and Mattingly in the infield. The catcher is Waniger. The pitcher is Perez. So the Mets lineup will be the right-handed against right-handed starting lineup. Lenny Dykstra leading off, followed by Wally Backman, Keith Hernandez, Kevin McReynolds, Darryl Strawberry, Gary Carter, Dave Magadan, Howard Johnson, and Rafael Santana. Again, these are guys that appeared from the 1981 through 1993 season. Tough years for a lot of both these teams. You found a lot of Yankees mid-'80s, some early '90s for the Yanks, while the Mets dominated their '86 through '88 teams, '89 teams, with a lot of their pitching too. So this will be a great pitching Met team against hopefully a good hitting Yankee team. We'll see how that goes. So Dykstra ready to lead off. We're ready to begin. Both teams on computer, so I'll be watching like I did last night, hopefully with some better results. So here's Lenny, here's Melito Perez, and let's get this started. First pitch of the ball game. And that will be a walk to Dykstra, so he's on base. Luckily, Melito Perez has a great hold, so it will limit Dykstra from getting hopefully an extra base. And now here's Wally Backman. 320 hitter, 1 home run, 27 ribbies. Perez will work from the stretch. Dykstra gets a good lead. And there go. Dykstra did go for that lead, but was not able to get it, so he'll stay closer to the bag. Perez looks in. Here's the pitch to Dykstra, but Backman lays down a bunt, so National League styles Keith Hernandez, and Davey Johnson claps his hands as he gets the sacrifice. He moves Dykstra over. Here comes Keith Hernandez. Should be in the Hall of Fame. Thank you, RJL. So let him have a little bit of Keith plug here. 311 hitter, 15 homers, 94 RBIs, left-handed hitter with some power. Waniger puts down the sign. Melito Perez working from the stretch. Runner on second and one out. Here's the pitch to Hernandez. And that's a base hit to right field. Here comes the throw home. Hit is got him. So a great throw by Winfield. Guns Dykstra at the plate. Waniger puts down a tag. And there is 2 outs. So what a tag by Waniger. Lays it on Dykstra. And there's 2 outs. They went for it. But Winfield threw an absolute bullet to get him. So with 2 outs, a runner at first. Here is Kevin McReynolds. Waniger puts down the sign. Perez looks a little bit shaky here. He'll pitch to McReynolds, 288 hitter, 27 homers, 99 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Kevin. And that will be a fly ball in the right field. Winfield there makes the catch, and the Mets are done in the first. So after 1/2 inning of play, Davey Johnson's Mets, nothing. And the New York Yankees, led by Buck Showalter, coming up to bat. Here's your Yankee lineup. Ricky Henderson will lead off, followed by Roberto Kelly. He'll be followed by Don Mattingly and then Dave Winfield. Then by Mike Pagliarulo at third. Butch Waniger behind the plate. Dion James, your designated hitter. Roy Smalley's at shortstop. And Steve Sachs is at second. Here is your Met defense. And it's not a bad one. It's McReynolds, Dykstra, Strawberry. Then it's Johnson, Santana, just in there for his glove. Backman and Hernandez on the mound. Behind the plate is the kid Gary Carter. And the pitcher is Doc Gooden. And this is Doc Gooden's premier year. 24-4, 1.53 ERA. So good luck for the Yankees trying to get a hit here. Hopefully they stay on their card. So Carter behind the plate sets the sign. Gooden looks in, and here's the pitch. And that will be a walk. So Ricky draws the walk. This is the year where Gooden actually was able to hold the runner a little bit. So Ricky may get a good jump here. And here is Roberto Kelly, 285 hitter, 15 homers, 61 RBIs. He was traded for Paul O'Neill, and the rest was Warrior history in Yankee lore and winning multiple World Series. Carter puts down the sign. Gooden looks in, gets it. Here's the pitch. And Henderson tried to get a good jump off first, but was not able to. So Carter again puts the sign down. Gooden working from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Kelly. And that is going to be a ground ball to short. Santana, the backman to Hernandez, gets 2 for the price of 1. A double play. So now here is Donnie Mattingly. 352 hitter, 31 homers, 113 runs batted in. Carter sets the target. Doc looks in, gets the sign, and here's the pitch to Mattingly. And Donnie hits a drive to deep left center field. Back goes Dykstra way back, and it is gone. So Don Mattingly hits a home run in the Mariners Trophy Challenge number 2. And the Yankees now lead it by a score of 1-0. So Mattingly sends the ball deep, far, and gone. So now here's Dave Winfield. 322 hitter, 25 homers, 107 runs batted in. Carter behind the plate sets the target. Gooden looks in, and the windup. And that will be a struck him out, and Gooden gets the strikeout. But Buck Showalter's Yankees get a run. We played 1. It's the Yankees 1 and the Mets nothing. Again, these are the teams based on Mets and Yankees from 1981 to 1993. Top of the second here at the ballpark. And we'll continue this so far. Here is Darryl Strawberry, 284 hitter, 39 home runs, 104 runs batted in. Waniger puts down the target. Melito Perez looks in, and here's the pitch. And Straw deep to left center field. That's all the way to the wall. Strawberry will go to first in the second with a double. So Strawberry doubles in the corner. Runner on second and nobody out. And here's the kid, Gary Carter. So Carter now steps up. Runner on second, nobody out. Waniger puts down the sign. Perez from the stretch. Runner on second, nobody out. Pitch to Gary. And that's a ground ball to third. Pags got it. Goes across the diamond to Mattingly for out number 1. Here is the designated hitter, David Maganin. 328 hitter, 6 home runs, 72 runs batted in. Boy, what a card against right-handed pitching. 2 solid columns. That's why he is a 5R and mostly destroys right-handed pitching. Waniger puts down the sign. Perez from the stretch. Runner on second and 1 out. pitch to Magadan, and he got a fly ball to center. Ricky may have a trouble getting this one. He comes in and does not make the catch. Actually, falls off his glove. The run scores. Magadan will hustle in the second, and this game is tied. So Magadan hustles in the second. Error by Henderson, and we're tied at 1. So now here's Howard Johnson, 287, 36, 101. He is the starting third base in this game. Waniger puts down the target. Melito Perez looks in from the stretch, and here's the pitch. And that will be a fly ball, shallow center. Ricky is there, makes the catch, and there's 2 outs. And now here's the shortstop, Rafael Santana. Santana comes up. Not a lot of good shortstops, either Met or Yankee history from 81 to 93. It was just a stretch trying to get a good starter out of here. Waniger puts down the sign. Perez looking from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Santana. And that is a strikeout for Perez to end the inning. Mets get a run on 1 hit and a huge error. We go to the bottom of the second. It is tied at 1. So 1-1. We go to the bottom of the second. Here in Mayor's Trophy Challenge game number 2. And here is the third baseman, Mike Pagliarulo. 238, 28 homers, 71 ribbies. Carter puts down the sign. Gooden looks in from the big windup and the pitch. And he struck him out. So Gooden threw a fastball by him. And here's the catcher, Butch Waniger. 296 hitter, 6 homers, 42 ribbies. He'll switch back from the left-hand side. Carter puts down the target. Gooden looks in and the windup to Waniger. And that's a ground ball to second. Backman's got it in front of him, and he throws him out for the second out. And now here's a designated hitter, Dion James, a 332 hitter, 21 doubles, 2 triples, 7 homers, 36 ribbies. Good bat to have as a DH for this team. Carter puts down the target. Gooden looks in. 2 outs here, bottom of the second, the windup and the pitch. And that's a fly ball right field. Strawberry there makes the catch, and we play 2 here in the Bronx. At the end of 2, it's the Mets 1 and the Yankees 1. Again, these are teams based on 1960 from 1981 to 1993. The next series of games will be the 94, again on to about 2007-ish, and then you'll have another last eras of teams from the back end of the era. So and here is Dykstra. He'll lead off. He walked and then got thrown out at home by Winfield. Otherwise, the Mets would have a lead. Again, this is Davey Johnson's team. Waniger puts down the target. Melito looks in, and the big windup and deals. And that's a strikeout for Melito Perez. He gets his second of the game. He'll now pitch to Backman. Lay down a sacrifice his first time up. Waniger puts down the target. Perez looks in, looking for that splitter probably. Here's the pitch to Backman. And ground ball to second. Gets what he wanted. Sack throws him out for 2 outs. So now here's Keith Hernandez. He singled his first time up. So Keith comes up. He singled the right, which I think forced the out. Waniger puts down the target. Perez looks in. Here is the windup to Keith Hernandez. Fly ball. That is a fly ball right field. Foul. Now Hernandez flies out the center. Hernandez there makes the catch. And that ends the third. We go to the bottom of the third. It is 1-1. Here is the Yankees shortstop, Roy Smalley. Boy, again, the Yankees, like the Mets, had problems finding shortstops. 275 hitter, 18 homers, 62 ribbies. Probably one of the better good shortstop hitting seasons, but the glove is definitely suspect. Smalley is a switch hitter, will bat lefty. He'll bat against the right-handed pitching good, and bottom of the third, game tied at 1. Carter puts down the sign. Gooden looks and nods. Here is the pitch to Smalley. And that's a ground ball to short. Santana's got it. He picks up and throws him out for out number 1. Here's the second baseman, Steve Sachs. 315 hitter, 5 home runs, 63 RBIs. Much better hitter against left-handed pitching. But he'll stay in here and be the starting second baseman. Garrett Carter puts down the sign for him. Gooden looks in. Here's a matchup we've seen before. Here's a windup to Sachs. And that is a ground ball to short. That is Santana in the hole. Picks it up, long throw to first, and got him for the second out. So here's Rick. Rick walked to lead off the game. And Henderson comes up. Henderson is a 314 hitter, 24 homers, 72 RBIs. Carter puts down the sign. Doc Gooden with the big windup to Ricky Henderson. And that will be a ground ball to third. Hojo. Tough play for Hojo. Across the diamond. No, it's over the head of Hernandez. So that's an infield hit. Looks like Ricky would have beat it out anyway. He'll be on his way to second and is. So Ricky's on with a hit and an E5. Runner on second and 2 outs. And now here's Roberto Kelly. Kelly grounded out to a double play his first time up. Big opportunity for Kelly here to get a big clutch hit. Carter puts down the sign. Gooden looks in from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Kelly. And Kelly hits a base hit up the middle for a base hit. Henderson will score from second standing. Kelly's on with the hit, and the Yankees now lead it 2-1. So Roberto Kelly has an RBI knock here in the third. So they take advantage of a hit and an error and get the second run of the game. Here's Mattingly. He hit that long tater his last time up. Carter puts down the sign, and Gooden now working from the stretch. Runner on first and 2 outs. The pitch to Mattingly. 5-5 is a ground ball to Backman. Throws him out to end the inning. But the Yankees do score a run on a couple hits. We go to the top of the fourth. It's 2-1 Yankees. So now the Mets come up. 1 run on 2 hits and an error, while Bucks and Yankees are at 2 runs on 3 hits and an error. Top of the fourth here at the stadium. So top of the fourth, here is Kevin McReynolds. We followed by Strawberry and Carter. Weininger puts down the sign. Perez looks in from the windup. Here's the pitch. And that will be a ground ball to short. Smalley's got a good throw to Mattingly, out number 1. Here's Strawberry, doubled his first time up. Weininger puts down the sign. Perez looks in. Here's the windup from Melito Perez. And that's a line drive, base hit up the middle. So 2 hits for Strawberry. He's on with 1 out. So here's Carter. He grounded out his first time up. Strawberry with excellent speed, may look to run. Weininger puts down the sign. Perez will have to work from the stretch. Looks back out over at Strawberry and the pitch. And that will be a catch-ax behind the plate. Weininger's a 2-E7. Let's see what gets away. It gets away from Weininger. Throwing to the backstop. Weininger has it too late. Damage is done. It scored a pass ball. Strawberry goes to second. So Carter remains at the plate with 1 out, runner in scoring position. Weininger again taps the glove, puts it to Perez. Perez looks in. Here's the pitch to Carter. And now we have struck him out. Ooh, we got the fastball on the inside corner. 2 outs here in the fourth. And now a tough hitter in David Magadan. You have a tough hitter in Howard Johnson to follow. Weininger puts down the sign. Perez looks in. Runner on second, 2 out, top of the fourth. Here's the pitch to Magadan. And he walks him, so he kind of gives him the unintentional Olay. First and second, 2 outs here in the fourth for Howard Johnson, who has tremendous power here. We'll see if that means anything in the long run for Hojo. Runner on, he comes up. He has fly down his first time up. 2 on, 2 out. Mets down a run here, top of the fourth. Weininger puts down the sign. Perez nods from the stretch. Here's the pitch. And that will be a fly ball, the deep left center field. He drops the bat, and it is gone. Howard Johnson has just made a reservation, and Hojo has just hit a 3-run bomb, and the Mets take a 4-2 lead. So Melito Perez kept it over the plate, and Hojo sends it out of here, and it's 4-2 Mets. So here is Rafael Santana now. Mets in a 2-run lead here in the fourth. Weininger's sign is down. Perez looks in, and the pitch to Santana. Pop up to short. Smalley there makes the catch, and we head to the bottom of the fourth. It's now the Mets 4 and the Yankees 2. So now Dave Winfield, followed by Mike Pagliarulo, and Butch Weininger will come up. Carter behind the plate. Gooden looks in. The big wind up the Winfield. And that's a pop-up behind the plate. Carter should have this no problem and makes the catch. 1 away. Here's Mike Pagliarulo. He's 0 for 1. Struck out his first time up. Gooden gets the full sign. And here is the wind-up. And that will be a ground ball to second. Backman's got it. He looks and throws. Got him for out number 2. Butch Waniger grounded out his first time up. 2 outs here in the fourth. Mets lead 4-2 thanks to a 3-run homer by Howard Johnson. Carter puts down the sign. Gooden looks in, and the big leg kick and the pitch. And that's a line drive base hit for Waniger. Gets his first hit of the ball game. That is the Yankees' fourth. It will give Deion James a chance here. So let's see what James could do. Runner on first, tying runner on Gooden. Carter puts down the sign, and Gooden looks in. Waniger does not get much of a lead. He'll stay right there on the bag. From the stretch is Gooden. Gets the sign and the pitch to Deion James. Line drive that. Back Boone makes a diving stab. That will end the fourth. We go to the fifth. It's 4-2 Mets. So far, it's 1981 through 1993. New York Mets lead it 4-2. As both teams have 4 hits and both teams have the error, but Howard Johnson's 3-run homer in the fourth has been the difference. As we go to the top of the fifth inning. So now here's Dykstra, 0 for 1, walk and struck out. Waniger puts down the target. Perez looks in, and the pitch to Dykstra. And that's a fly ball, shallow left. Kelly's there, makes the catch, and there's 1 away. And now here's Wally Backman. Backman so far in the ballgame has threw the sacrifice bunt and ground out, so he's 0 for 1. Waniger puts down the sign. Perez looks in, and the big leg kick and the pitch. That'll be a walk from Backman, so he's on base for Hernandez. He singled and flied out. Perez so far in the game has given up 4 walks, 4 hits, and 3 walks. Waniger puts down the target. Perez looks in. Runner on first and 1 out. Pitch to Hernandez. Line drive at Sachs. That'll double off Backman. So a double play ball 4-3. What a play by Sachs. Threw it over to Mattingly, and the out is registered. So a line drive double play. We go to the bottom of the fifth. It's still 4-2 Mets. So Smalley, Sachs, and Henderson batting for Buck Showalter's New York Yankees from 1981 to 1993. So here's Smalley, 275 hitter, ground ball out first time of 0 for 1. Again, he's a switch. He'll bat from the left-hand side. Gene Mock's nephew. Carter puts down the sign. Gooden looks in, and the wide up to Smalley. And Smalley, 5 ball, shallow center. Dykstra there, and there's 1 away. Here is Steve Sachs, grounded out his first time up. Gooden taking command so far. Carter puts down the target. Gooden looks in, and the big wide up to Sachs. And that's a fly ball, shallow center. Dykstra there, and there's 2 outs. The Yankees can't afford to be behind Gooden here. It's 4-2 last of the fifth, and the Mets do have an excellent bullpen. So Henderson, the batter, he's 1 for 1. Single, reached on an error, and then I believe scored. And yes, he did score one of the Yankee runs, I believe, in the third inning. That at that time gave him a 2-1 lead. But a 3-run homer by Howard Johnson the following inning has given the Mets the lead that we're at right now. Carter puts down the target. Gooden looks in, and the full windup to Ricky. And that will be a walk to Ricky. So let's see if Ricky does anything here with a combination of Gooden and Carter. There's 2 outs. Roberto up. He had an RBI single his first time. Let's see if Ricky can get the second, though. Carter puts down the sign. Gooden will work from the stretch. He has to make sure he keeps Ricky close. Here's the pitch to Kelly, and that's a strikeout. Got Kelly down on strikes looking. We played 5 here at Yankee Stadium. It's 4-2 Mets. So far, the Mets 4-4-1, and the Yankees are at 2-4-1. Top of the 6 here at the stadium. So now Kevin McReynolds lead off, followed by Darryl Strawberry and Gary Carter against Mr. Melito Perez, Pascual's brother. So Waniger puts down the target. Melito looks in, gets it. Here's the windup to Kevin McReynolds, and that's a fly ball, shallow center. Ricky's there, makes the catch, and that's 1 out. So here's Strawberry, 2 hits in the ball game, a double and a single. Waniger puts down the target. Perez nods, and the windup to Strawberry. And that's a walk to Strawberry. So he's on for the 3rd time. And now here's the catcher, the kid, Gary Carter. Grounded out and struck out 0 for 2. Perez needs to induce that double play, which he can with the splitter. Waniger puts down the sign and gives it to Perez. Perez from the stretch, though. Here is the pitch to Carter. And that's a fly ball left field. Kelly there makes the catch for out number 2. So now here's Dave Magadan. So Magadan comes up. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. He's reached on base twice, once on a 2-base error by Henderson, and then walked in the 4th. So runner on first, 2 outs for the left-handed hitting from Alabama, David Magadan. Waniger puts down the target. Perez from the stretch. He gets it. Here's the pitch. And he's thrown out. How about that? Strawberry went for the stolen base. Good move by Perez and threw him out. Now go 2-4. So excellent throw by Waniger. Second baseman lays the tag down, and the Mets' 6th inning is over. So we go to the bottom of 6. It's 4-2 Mets. So Gooden comes out, still a 2-run lead, and he'll pitch to Mattingly, who's going to be batting with the bases empty, Winfield, and Pagliarulo. Mattingly had a solo bomb back in the 1st. Carter puts down the sign. Gooden looks in, and the windup to Mattingly. And that's a ground ball to Hernandez. Does he take it himself? He waves them off, and does for out number 1. Here's Winfield, 0 for 2 in the ballgame, struck out and popped up. Carter puts down the target. Gooden looks in. And here's the windup and pitch to Winfield. Fly ball to center. Dykstra coming in on it. He should make this catch, and does for out number 2. So here's Mike Pagliarulo. He is 0 for 2 in the ballgame, a strikeout and a ground out. Gooden in control. Carter puts down the target. Gooden nods. A big leg kick and the pitch to Pagliarulo. And he hits a drive to right field. Strawberry at the track makes the catch to end it. We played 6 here at the stadium. It's the Mets 4 and the Yankees 2. Again, both teams with 4 hits and both teams with the error, but Howard Johnson's big 3-run bomb has been the difference. The 7th inning, Mets lead by 2, 4-2. So 4-2, top of the 7th. Here's Magadan, 0 for 1, run scored. Waniger puts down the target. Melito Perez nods, and the pitch to Magadan. And now we ground ball to second. Sachs has got it. He's got the yips a little bit. Throws, got him. Good throw by Sachs. So top of the 7th and 1 out. Here's Howard. He had the big hit of the ball game back in the 4th inning. He launched that big 3-run homer his last time up. Waniger puts down the sign. Perez, the big windup, and deals to Howard Johnson. Struck him out inside corner. So Melito gets strikeout number 4. 4 strikeouts, 4 walks, and 4 hits so far. 2 outs here in the 7th for Rafael Santana. Santana 0 for 2, struck out and popped up. Waniger goes out and talks to Melito, puts down his signs. Perez nods, and here's the windup and pitch to Santana. Ground ball to third. Pags comes up, throws a strike to Mattingly, and we head to the 7th inning stretch. It is the New York Mets 4 and the New York Yankees 2. As this is the Mets of 1981 to 1993, the Yankees of 81 to 93 too. So again, it's 4-4-1 for the Mets and 2-4-1 for the Yankees. Here's Waniger. He'll lead off by James and Smalley. Gooden still on the mound. Carter puts down the sign. Gooden the fig, wind up the Waniger. And Waniger base hit again. That's his 2nd hit on that same roll. So now Butch with a chance. So here's Dion James. So James comes up. Big opportunity for Dion. Carter puts down the sign. Gooden looks in from the stretch. Waniger not running anywhere. Here's the pitch. And that will be a fly ball shallow left. McReynolds is there. Catch is made. And Waniger is out, 1 away. So now here's Smalley. Big opportunity for Roy here. He's 0 for 2, a ground out and fly out. Carter puts down the sign. Gooden looks in. Waniger at first. Gooden from the stretch. The big leg kick and the pitch. That is a base hit right field. Waniger will stop at second. Strawberry throws it back in. So now the Yanks with 2 on and 1 out here in the 7th for Steve Sachs. So Sachs comes in, right-handed hitter. Carter puts down the target. Gooden looks in from the stretch. First and second, 1 out, pitch to Sachs. Ground ball to short. Santana, Backman, Hernandez, double play ends the 7th. So Gooden gets through 7. Let's head to the 8th. It's 4-2 Mets. So 4-2
Yeah,
Mets as
just
we head to the
find
eighth.
my way down.
Not exactly sure what's going on here this evening. So Lenny Dykstra will be followed by Backman Hernandez against Melito Perez. Weininger puts down the target. Perez looks in for the windup. Here's the pitch to Dykstra. And that is a line drive. Oh, Sachs makes a diving stop, and he'll get that one. So one away. So Sachs comes up with a beautiful web gem. One out here in the eighth. And here's Backman. He has sacrificed, walked, and ground out. He's officially 0 for 1. Weininger puts down the target. Perez the big kick. And Backman. Ground ball to second. Sachs has got an easier one. Flips it to Mattingly for the second out. Here's Hernandez. 1 for 3. Single back in the first. He flied out in the third, and he lined into a double play back in the fifth. Weininger puts down the sign. Perez looks in, and the big leg kick and pitch to Hernandez. And that's going to be a line drive in the gap. It's off the top of the wall. Hernandez around first. He'll go for 2, and he'll make it standing. So a 2-out double for Keith Hernandez. So now here's Kevin McReynolds. Opportunity to get the Mets some insurance here in the eighth, up by 2. Weininger puts down the sign. Perez working from the stretch. Runner on second and 2-out. Pitch to McReynolds. That's a ground ball to third. Pag's got it. Throws the Mattingly, and that is 8 good innings from Melito Perez. We go to the bottom of the eighth, and it is 4-2 favor of the Mets. So now Ricky Henderson will be followed by Kelly and Mattingly here against Doc Gooden. So Carter puts down the sign for him. Gooden, the long leg kick, pitch to Ricky. And that is a line drive at Howard Johnson. So Ricky's retired for the first time, and it brings up Roberto Kelly now. So Kelly comes up. He's 1 for 3, has an RBI single back in the third. Carter puts down the sign. Gooden with the big leg kick and pitch to Kelly. Struck him out. 2 outs in the eighth. So now here's Mattingly. Big home run off Gooden back in the first, but that seems like a long time ago. Gooden getting stronger and stronger. Carter puts down the sign. Gooden looks in. And the pitch. And that will be a fly ball right field. Strawberry there makes the catch, and Gooden has given the Mets 8 strong innings. The Mets try to go up 2-0 in this 4-gamer and see if they can put a stranglehold on this series. So here we go to the top of the ninth. It is so far the Mets 4 runs on 5 hits and 1 error. The Yankees 2 runs on 6 hits and 1 error. Buck Showalter's Yankees against Davey Johnson's Mets. Top of the ninth. Here is Strawberry, been on base 3 times with 2 hits. Weininger puts down the sign. Melito staying in this game. Here's the pitch to Strawberry, and that's a strikeout for Melito Perez. Gets his 5th of the game. Now here's Carter. He's 0 for 3. Weininger puts down the sign. Perez looks in, and the big kick and pitch. That will be a line drive in the gap, possibly. Kelly cannot get it, goes to the wall. Carter will go around first. He will go to second, standing with a double. So a huge double for Carter, and now brings up Magadan. This is where you play the smart thing in bringing a Steve Bridge too far. Not Bridge too far. Bring a Steve Howe in this game. And you flip the Mets lineup around, because that way you don't put the strong side out there. So like I did last night for the Mets, I'm going to go ahead and make a move here for the Yanks if that's what they're going to do. So I'll bring in Howe here. So Steve Howe will come in, a 1991 version of him. So here comes Steve. 3-1 on the season, 3 saves, 1.68 ERA. Again, troubled career for Steve. Absolutely nothing against left-handed pitching. This is where if you were the Mets, you probably pinch hit for him. He is the designated hitter for the New York Mets so far. So let's see who they have they can go with. We might as well go the full gusto. Designated hitter and bring in Ray I.W.D. Knight. So Ray Knight will come in. He will bat here against Steve Howe. Let's see how he does. Weininger puts down the sign for him. Howe working from the stretch, and they walk Knight. So they walk him. Ooh. So a different decision by Buck Showalter. They walk the intimidating Ray Knight, and now here's Howard Johnson. 1 out the ninth, 4-2. Mets and Yankees needing a huge double play. Wagner puts down the sign. Howe working from the stretch, and the Mets are going, and they do it. So since it's not the era of the 3-pitch pitcher, John Habian comes in, and he's the new Yankee pitcher. So Howe doesn't even get there. He gives the intentional walk tonight, but problem is now he put Johnson on his strong side, which I don't agree with. So we'll see if this works out. Did Buck make one wrong move here? Wagner puts down the target. Habian working from the stretch, and here's the pitch. And it is a base hit for Howard Johnson. Carter will go to third. He has to hold, and the bases will be loaded and 1 out for Rafael Santana. So a big opportunity here for the Yanks, or for the Mets. The Mets trying to break it open here. 1 out in the ninth. Wagner puts down the target. John Habian working from the stretch. He has that little herky-jerky move and has that motion. He'll pitch to Santana. Infield back looking for a double play. Pitch to Santana is a line drive. That's Smalley as everyone holds. Oh, what a big out that is. But now you got to deal with nails. Dykstra, you got 3 hitters come up who are looking for right-handed pitching. Again, if the Yankees have another lefty, this is where you can probably use one. Lee Guttman would be an option to me for the Yanks here against a strong Met right-handed lineup, strong Mets left-handed lineup. Let's see if they go to Guttman here. I don't want to force that. Wagner puts down the sign. Habian working from the stretch. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and they'll pitch to Dykstra, and it struck him out. So John Habian does the job. Bottom of the ninth coming up here at the stadium. Mets 4, Yankees 2. So last of the ninth, Winfield, Pagliarulo, and Wagner. Maybe some pinch hitting as the Yankees look to get a key run here as they're trying to get a win. We'll see if they can do it here. So again, bottom of ninth, Winfield up, followed by Pags and Wagner. Carter puts down the target. Gooden looks in, and here's the pitch to Winfield. And that's a strikeout against Gooden. So Doc has his 5th strikeout, and there's 1 out in the ninth from Mike Pagliarulo. So Carter puts down the sign. Gooden looks in, and the wind up the Pags. And that's a fly ball right field. That's 2 outs to victory for Doc as Butch Wagner comes up. He's got 2 hits in the ball game. Let's see if he can keep the inning extended, or will Joe Torre's Yankees have to go back to Shea Stadium down 2-0 and see if they can get one of these back. Carter puts down the sign. Gooden looks in. It's 4-2 Mets. Pitch to Wagner. And that's a walk, so the Yankees do bring the time run to the plate, and it is Dion James. So Dion with some power, though. We'll see if he can generate it from the left-hand side of the plate. Carter behind the plate, sets for Gooden. Gooden looks in, ignores Wagner. Gooden working from the stretch. Gets the side. Pitch to Dion James. And that's a ground ball to third. Johnson goes the short way, and that's your ball game as the Mets have won 2 in a row. So the Mets have won 2 in a row here. So Doc Gooden goes 9 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, and 1 earned, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Guido Perez, a tough 8 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, and 3 earned, 4 walks, and 5 strikeouts. 26,000 here in Mayor's Trophy game at the stadium. Steve Howe walked 1, and then John Habian gave up 1 hit and 1 strikeout, but no further runs. Home runs in the ballgame by Howard Johnson and Don Mattingly. 3 RBIs by Howard Johnson. He had the key RBI of the ballgame, a 3-run blast, and that was in the top of this 4th inning. So the 81-93 Mets make it. So the Mets franchise goes up 2 falls to 0, as they say, and we'll face it back to Shea Stadium, where the next era will be Joe Torre's Yankee era against one of the Mets eras. We'll see you back for more of this again at another time, as the final score here is the Mets 4 and the Yankees 2. Thank you, folks. Been a great night. We'll talk to you again and see you again at another time.